One of the most effective ways to wrap your head around XR UX design is to learn from those who have blazed the trails before us. Oculus First Steps for the Rift was foundational in my early study of VR training design. I recently spent time deconstructing the experience step by step and then did a thought experiment by going back in time to 2018, before the original Oculus Quest was released. I wanted to hypothetically add training for the new hand tracking and voice command features that were going to be included in the then upcoming original Quest headset. I know there's separate training, but I wanted to experiment with what it would have looked like if they'd added it to First Steps instead. Since this was an existing experience, I approached it the way I would if I were working on any VR training project. In real projects, whenever I'm analyzing an existing experience to work on either additions or improvements, I'll start out by getting very acquainted with its current state. And I do this by auditing the experience in minute detail down to the micro-interaction level. That way, I can make sure I'm following all of the existing design and interaction patterns so that anything new I add doesn't break the immersion or cause confusion by giving mixed feedback signals. If there's time and budget, I'll also do usability testing to see if any of those existing patterns are causing confusion. It's only after I've gained a strong understanding of the existing experience that I actually start designing anything new. In traditional 2D UX design, this is where we would usually open up our digital tools and start making storyboards or wireframes. However, with XR, you're designing a spatial three-dimensional experience, and I've learned that the best way to get you in that mindset is to use a prototyping method taken from the industrial design industry called body storming. With body storming, you use simple physical props to block out scenes and test design decisions rapidly without the need of any digital tools or equipment. It's a great way to get you out of your flat 2D screen thinking and back into 360-degree, three-dimensional spatial thinking, which is essential for XR design or VR training design. And it doesn't have to be fancy. For my first step experiment, I used what I had on hand: Post-its to identify objects, toothpicks and stickers for tooltips, cardstock to cut into cubes, 2 books as cartridges, an empty product box for the console, and paper for the piano keyboard. Check out this clip of me walking through the body storming prototype. So we finished playing with our blocks, and then the next step, we'll have a tooltip on one of the cartridges saying, grab the cartridge. And so we grab our cartridge, this tooltip goes away, and the next tooltip shows up on the console near the slot saying insert in console. So we insert it in the console, this tooltip goes away, and the next console tooltip shows up to push the button. We push the button, and then all of this stuff goes away, and we load into a new world in which we have a piano keyboard that I don't have, so I'm just using a piece of paper. It's about rapidly iterating on ideas, not perfecting visuals. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. And then once you've got all the bad ideas out of the way quickly, and you have a good idea of where you want to go, then you start storyboarding and lo-fi prototyping. That body storming clip that you just saw is an example from the week 4 assignment in our upcoming course called Deconstructing VR Training. Throughout the course, we're deconstructing the Oculus First Steps experience to see what we can learn from it. In the assignment, the students will be asked to take what they've learned up to that point and body storm a VR training experience that they want to create. I'm working together with instructional designer Aleatha Singleton to create this course, and we're wrapping up the beta design now in preparation for a one-time only live cohort test run. We'll take all the learnings from the live cohort to create the final on-demand version. And if you want to stay updated, check out the info page linked in the description to get all the details and to be the first to know when enrollment opens. Don't worry, I'm too introverted to spam you. You can click on the screen right now to learn more about UX best practices for VR training. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.